Ego, talk to him.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold. Classic!
I'm only gonna do this once.
Fighting out of the southpaw stance. Standing at 6'2", 190 pounds. I give you, boy, I'm made different. I work too hard. Ain't no way I ain't getting paid different. This from the dirt, this from the mud. You ain't slave with me. This was strictly for my homies that was brave with me. You can't come in with me now if you ain't came with me. Skull looking at you side eye if you ain't with real life. I seen a couple people try and it ain't even real. I only keep the people around that stood on 10 with me. And if they start to stand on 9, that's where it end with me. It can end quickly. And the way I level up, I make them spin differently. I should start a foundation. They be make-a-wishing me. I got these hoes in the fringe. They can't seem to get to me. Babe, I done mastered discipline. It take more than booty cheeks. Need a little more conversation, cause I still be trying to see. I be listening with my eyes. Yeah, I still be trying to see. I be moving like the prize. You can't find another me. Let's get focused. Want the future.
Yeah, let's get focused. Yeah, it's classic with the classic codes, and I got another great live show for y'all today. We gonna be cooking up a few
Classic.
things. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. 333 early, just so y'all can feel the energy right now. We are streaming live on YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble at the Classic Codes on all 3 platforms. So shout out to all 3 of those platforms, homes for the Classic Codes to rock
Classic.
out. If you haven't already, subscribe to me on all 3. If you have all 3, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you active in the comments so we can have a conversation, whether we agree or disagree, because we gotta crack these codes, man.
I know you see me trying to crack the code.
So yes, Lord, without further ado, we will be moving into our slate of things to discuss. We have a reaction video. We have a question of the day. We have a TikTok reaction, and then we have a code language conversation. So we have a full slate, regular schedule programming today. Let's get right into it. We're going to start off with our reaction video today. We sliding over to the Ask a Brother podcast. I actually covered him for the first time, I want to say a week or so ago, and he actually has amazing content. Once again, I'm grateful that I came across his page and became a subscriber, because he has great content. As somebody who does reaction content, such as myself, you know, it's nothing like finding a new, unique content creator that's well-spoken with some good perspective. So on this one, they're going to be talking about red pill versus black pill, and why men choose one or the other. I haven't watched this at all. I thought that the title was captivating, and so we're going to watch it together, and I'll give an authentic reaction. Let me add this to the frame, and let's get to it.
And, you know, familiar with red pill Bannister content. How far off are we? Are we way extreme to one side? Are we extreme? Are we somewhere in the middle? By your assessment, where are we with the men's opinion, reaction, and perception of this whole situation?
Yeah. So both watching this stuff for years and doing a little research or whatever, I think it's definitely split down the middle between 2 categories of men. One category of men are those who are now seeking to accept the reality of women, their nature, their ability to change, their ability to base major decisions on their happiness and responding accordingly. And they're basically, red pill is just moving with your eyes wide open. You're recognizing that there are risks and you're just moving however you see fit, but your eyes are wide open. You're not shocked or surprised by anything that's going to come. Black pill is what I would consider has the potential for looking very close to extreme. I said this on Pearl's podcast that I think at this point in time, with the growing anger, bitterness, and resentment in certain populations of the men in regards to their general treatment from women, they are looking and starting to sound like the female equivalents of third and fourth wave extremist feminists. Why do I say that? Well, third and fourth wave extreme feminists don't see literally any value in men other than what they can use them for.
Okay, so this is very interesting. So the red pill, we know what that is, right? That's enlightenment, right? That's an understanding, a healthy, realistic understanding of life, all that it encompasses, the possibilities, the risks, the reward, the nuance. That's red pill, right? Having your eyes wide open to the real, you know what I'm saying? The magic glasses, if you will. And it goes much farther beyond men and women and how they deal with each other, but consciousness in all aspects of life. So red pill, for those who understand red pill properly and not just in relation to how people talk in regards to dating, that's one thing we know about. Black pill, this is a new concept to me, where he's saying that black pill men tend to cross over into being extreme and being almost like a male version of a feminist, which would be what, a misandrist, or not even a misandrist, but or not a misogynist, but I guess what would be the term for that? Like a male version of a feminist. So like a man who is on the extreme side of things. I guess black pill is a start. I like him coining this term if he's the person who coined it. You know, shout out to Ask a Brother, but let's go.
Sources. They say, what do we need men for? Men aren't important. They think that men are so dangerous that they'll pick a bear over a man if they're in the woods, stupid stuff like that. They have dehumanized men to such a degree to where they don't see almost any inherent significant value or purpose for a man in their life. And as a result, they see men as basically less than. Men who are on the other side of the spectrum, who are unhappy, who have been divorced, who have gone through some major devastating things and they haven't recovered, have the potential to make very similar talking points as so this is my view about it. When we say the worst of the worst women are the ones that hate men, the ones that use men, the ones that say that men are useless and we don't need them, they have such a warped, dark, blacked out, pessimistic view of men. Black pill for men is starting to sound and resemble and look just like those women that we say are the worst aspects of female culture. So I don't know what the percentage is of men that would identify as black pill. And part of the reason is because many of those men just simply opt out.
Okay. What y'all think about this, chat? Very, very interesting. Shout out to the chat. Cortez in the building. What's going on with it, bro? Chat 333 filing in.
Classic.
So with the black pill concept, I see where he coming from with this, and it makes a few people come to mind online who tend to rub women the wrong way, but men kind of cling to them. And I won't say any names because it's not necessary, but it does make a few people come to mind who are in the content creation space that this black pill term may apply to. Like they've crossed over beyond the red pill. You know, they've gone into, like he said, a dark space. And then he said it's hard to really identify how many men would be black pill based on how he described it, because a lot of them just opt out. You know what I'm saying? That, what did they call it? Men going their own way. You know what I mean? This is very unique. I hadn't heard this term, and so I'm taking it in because I hadn't watched this beforehand, and so it's an authentic reaction. But that's interesting. That's interesting. It makes me assess myself. I haven't crossed over into black pill. I think on my platform, I constantly acknowledge that there is still a percentage of good women, but also address the fact that that percentage is not, you know, increasing, but decreasing. And so we need to take measures to either balance it out or get it back on the upswing. You know what I mean? We try to be solution based around here while also discussing the real.
I know you see me trying to crack the code.
But let's see him on. Let's listen to him unpack the rest of this. Let's go.
They just opt out. They don't run around and constantly keep saying women aren't this or women aren't that. They just opt out of dealing with women in life. They stop dating them. They stop pursuing them. They stop approaching them. They stop asking them out. In fact, they go out of their way to kind of avoid them. So I feel like it's almost more of a subtle rejection, whereas women who are on the extremist side, they're very overt and public about their misandry. But the men who are resigned to feeling like women are horrible creatures and there's none good in this entire country, they're effectively twins at this point. Now, is the black pill percentage of men anywhere close to the percentage of women that are misandrous? No. I think I would say 3 to 1 right now.
I would say more like 10 to 1.
Yeah, it's high. It's definitely high, man.
I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. This is a very interesting conversation. Yeah, you know who it makes me think of? He said, "Can you replay his black pill?" Absolutely, I'll replay it. It's a lot, but this is actually a short video, and so yeah, I'll definitely replay it. I was gonna go back anyway. What up to Souls of Thought in the chat? Chat 333 filing in, man. What's going on? Yeah, let me go back. Let me see where we at.
That they'll pick a bear over a man.
Okay, it goes back a way, so we just gonna take it from here.
Has the potential for looking very close to moving however you see fit, but your eyes are wide open. You're not shocked or surprised by nature, their ability to change, their ability to base major decisions on their happiness and responding accordingly. And they're basically, red pill is just moving with your eyes wide open. You're recognizing that there are risks and you're just moving however you see fit, but your eyes are wide open. You're not shocked or surprised by anything that's going to come. Black pill is what I would consider has the potential for looking very close to extreme. I said this on Pearl's podcast that I think at this point in time, with the growing anger, bitterness, and resentment in certain populations of the men in regards to their general treatment from women, they are looking and starting to sound like the female equivalents of third and fourth wave extremist feminists. Why do I say that? Well,
y'all following so far? Soft Rain in the chat. What's going on? 333. What's happening? Chat 333 filing in. I knew y'all show up to the party. Y'all know I was gonna go one on nobody till people showed up, right? But y'all, you follow Norris, what he's talking about on black pill. So essentially, the black pill man, he's saying most men these days are either red pill or black pill. But I think the blue pill still exists too, at a high level. But among the men who cross over to the red pill, how many of them end up going black pill is what I'm gathering, right? And so he's saying so pretty much he's breaking down how the black pill man is kind of running parallel with the ideologies and the mentality of the feminist woman, but we present it differently. He'll go on to explain it. But yeah, I'm just bringing y'all up to speed.
Third and fourth wave extreme feminists don't see literally any value in men other than what they can use them for. Resources. They say, what do we need men for? Men aren't important. They think that men are so dangerous that they'll pick a bear over a man if they're in the woods, stupid stuff like that. They have dehumanized men to such a degree to where they don't see almost any inherent significant value or purpose for a man in their life. And as a result, they see men as basically less than. Men who are on the other side of the spectrum, who are unhappy, who have been divorced, who have gone through some major devastating things and they haven't recovered, have the potential to make very similar talking points as so this is my view about it. When we say the worst of the worst women are the ones that hate men, the ones that use men, the ones that say that men are useless and we don't need them, they have such a warped, dark, blacked out, pessimistic view of men. Black pill for men is starting to sound and resemble and look just like those women that we say are the worst aspects of female culture.
Yeah, I can concur. 333, what up, my boy? He said, I think black is the broken blue. Ooh, I think black is the broken blue. or the extreme red. I think you can get to be a black pill from either one. You can go red pill. Your eyes get open to certain things. You try to play against the odds, understanding what it is, get torn apart and go dark. Or like you said, you in simp mode, you stay blue, you a sheep, you living in la la land, thinking shit sweet, and then you learn about the nature of the beast the hard way, and then go dark. So I'm with you, Souls. I think the GPS got a couple routes to that black pill. Let's see what else he got to say.
So I don't know what the percentage is of men that would identify as black pill. And part of the reason is because many of those men just simply opt out. They just opt out. They don't run around and constantly keep saying women aren't this or women aren't that. They just opt out of dealing with women in life. They stop dating them. They stop pursuing them. They stop approaching them. They stop asking them out. In fact, they go out of their way to kind of avoid them. So I feel like it's almost more of a subtle rejection. Whereas women who are on the extremist side, they're very overt and public about their misandry. But the men who are resigned to feeling like women are horrible creatures and there's none good in this entire country, they're effectively twins at this point. Now, is the black pill percentage of men anywhere close to the percentage of women that are misandrous? No.
Hell no.
No. I think I would say 3 to 1 right now.
I would say more like 10 to 1.
Yeah, it's high. It's definitely high, man. It's definitely high, man. Yep.
Like you said, though, I agree. Like you said, for the most part, the black pill.
I want to break some of that down. So he said that pretty much essentially the black pill man and the extreme third and fourth wave feminist woman, specifically third and fourth wave feminist woman, are kind of running parallel, just opposite ends of the spectrum, being male and female. However, they display it differently. He's saying that the third and fourth wave feminist woman are very overt and very loud about their misandry. And then that the black pill man is more exhibits more of a subtle rejection for women. It's silent, so to speak. Stay out the way, avoid them. Just kind of be off in the cut. What we call it, staying out the way, right? I think the reason for that is that the third and fourth wave misogynist, not misogynist, but the third and fourth wave feminist woman harbors resentment, whereas the black pill man that decides to go his own way, in spite of the absence of the warmth of a woman, he has peace. And so the man isn't going to be loud about having peace. He'll simply enjoy his peace and do what he needs to do to maintenance that peace, to maintain that peace. Whereas the woman, because oftentimes, though they won't get on, Barack Obama's internet and tell you the truth about how hard it is being a single woman in this world, because they won't get online and tell us the truth about how difficult that is. They show their resentment subconsciously. I hope y'all following me. The feminist woman, they show their resentment for the fact that they're unable to be or their desires to be the woman they want to be isn't in alignment with being the woman that a man would want to be with. And so they're caught in this catch-22, and their resentment for that shows in their actions, in their speech, in the things that they fight for at the political level, etc. This is my theory. Anyone could feel differently. Have a conversation with me, chat. I think this one is a little bit deep, but he's breaking this down very well. But yeah, I think that's the reason why it displays differently. Men are quiet about going their own way and resigning themselves from the hunt, from the participation. They're quiet about it because they're at peace. Don't get it twisted. A life as a man, a productive man, an ambitious man, the life of a single man without a woman, a man with discipline and that is single without a woman, the life of that man is peaceful. Lonely at times. That is very true as well. But it is a peaceful life. Don't get it twisted. I think it's the opposite for women. I think the life of a single woman, trying to make it on her own and, do whatever she got to do. I think it's not as peaceful. I don't think it's long-term peaceful. I don't. I think naturally women get to a point in their lives where they want that attachment. But correct me if I'm wrong, please. Let's have a conversation. Cortez said black pill is super low percentage. Most dudes still like women as a whole. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Classic.
I agree wholeheartedly. All right, let's let them cook.
Who's talk amongst themselves? Out to my man, Morpheus. Shout out to him, man, on the base Pluto. And it is a lot of doom and gloom, right? Yeah, but at the end of the day, from what I've seen, a lot of those dudes go through that moment and then you find your way because they're still giving self-improvement notes and things like that, and so on and so forth. And like just, but it's just like, hey, she don't like you, she don't want you, motherfucker. But this is what you can do so you can get the best outcome if you really still want to deal with these women. So shout out to those brothers. Yeah. So this is the big question, man. Can this be fixed? Black people specifically, and then we'll talk about start with us and then work out, because I'm pretty sure you heard of, hey, the country gets the cold and we get the flu, but it's more like now stage 4 cancer.
Yeah. Okay? So can this be fixed? One, that's probably why I started doing this, because I believe that it is fixable, but it's not for everybody. No, as an entire community and culture, no. What group moves like a monolith? None.
You know what? I'm gonna collab with this brother. I'm speaking that right now because I posted the video of me reacting to my man from Ask a Brother podcast. I don't know his name. I just call him brother. So my man from Ask a Brother podcast, he actually commented under my video that I posted of me reacting to him for the first time. So I think I can actually reach out to him because I didn't know that his mission, I mean, obviously his content is very honest, but this is my first time hearing him say this for myself, hearing him say that that's part of his mission is to try to fix this thing between black men and black women. And that's kind of why he started this, because that's very much a part of my mission. I want to discuss sociology. I want to push the envelope. I want to create more enlightenment overall for all of us, regardless of our colors, for sure. But in regards to black people in particular and the staggering statistics in the households and in the marriages and in the relationships in general, I definitely think that we are definitely in critical condition. And so I'm interested to hear what he's going to say for a resolution, but I just wanted to pause there and say me and him definitely got to collab on something. I mean, it may be a bit of an echo chamber, maybe not, but I think we could have some real intellectual conversation.
None. So that's the same with black people. I think we have to get to a point or place where you have black people and you have ninjas. All right. So black people are individuals that's trying to better their lives on a generational level and trying to make improvements. They're trying to grow. They're trying to improve. They're trying to remove themselves from horrible decisions or toxic situations or even environments that they were born into. Black people are trying to move in such a way where they can progress in society and be an asset. Ninjas aren't interested in any of that. Ninjas are interested in primarily self-gratification and in the moment. Ninjas are the reason for why our image is the worst in the world. Ninjas, many of them will never change or they'll die in that role and position. So the percentage of ninjas is growing. So when I say, is it fixable? Yes, for black people, not for ninjas. So I draw that line of distinction. Now, when you say, well, Jeff, what's the percentage between ninjas and black people? Honestly, it's going to depend on the day. For me, sometimes with what I see and what I see promoted, sometimes I think it's way, way, way bigger than it actually is in terms of the quote unquote ninjas.
Yeah.
And it's because the social media does an overrepresentation of a minority thing that's often happening in communities. So as a clear cut example, yeah, man, there's a lot of crappy things in our culture and our society. But if you ever went to school, if you ever went to ninjas be breeding, that's funny. Ninjas, this is going to sound bad, and people are going to say that I'm elitist. They're going to say that I'm classist.
Oh, bro, listen, brother. Brother, I know you new here, but you've said nothing bad, brother. Compared, bro.
Listen, man. And I'm more so saying it for all the people who haven't heard from me before, right?
Okay.
We have to recognize every other culture. They draw lines between the people who are making them look bad and the people who are trying to uplift their view and value in society.
Yeah. I'm with all that. Let's catch up on the chat real quick. Soft Rain said some single women are okay with being alone as well. They've said it's peaceful, and I can agree, although I feel everyone desires to spend life with someone. Soft Rain, do you think that they mean that as far as long term? Like, do you think they're gonna feel the same when they 64, God willing? You think they're gonna feel the same when they 71, God willing? That's what I mean. Like, I don't believe there's peace for a woman growing old companionless. But that's my opinion. I haven't spent a day as a woman, and so I'm saying that from a position of ignorance. I'm acknowledging it, So Souls of Thought said that could be the biggest problem. Ninja have most of the children, and the women tend to like the ninjas. That's facts. Souls of Thought said double talking. Who double talking? Who double talking, Souls? Don't start, man. We've been doing good today. But yeah, ninjas do tend to breed more so than black people, as he put it, to use his distinction. Ninjas do breed more because they have less discipline. And so they'll make 6 kids being, middle class or less, knowing they can't afford these babies. They'll, have 5 or 6 accidental babies, and some of them is on purpose. Ninjas do stuff like get overly consumed with their emotions during intercourse, and him and her whispering to each other about, having a shorty. And they don't mean that right then, but it just feels so good, doesn't it? And then they end up having that baby to take care of. And they didn't even like each other. They just thought each other looked good. That's ninja-ish. You feel me? That's some ninja-ish. Whereas black people, they're going to try to at least go about trying to make the best decision, and then if they find out later on down the line that it's not working out, it wasn't because nobody's intentions was good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, were bad. You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely a distinguishing factor. I think that with us, we weaponize the wrong things against each other, right? If I'm black and I separate myself from being a ninja or considered a ninja, right, then I'm going to get called names by the ninjas, and some of the people who are even black people. They'll call me, you know the names, the Uncle Toms, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, elitist, like he said, all of that. They'll start calling you names. You know what I mean? So black people are the hardest on black people. That's what I'm saying. The foot they've been lifted their foot off of our neck. We put our foot on our own neck after that. We just replaced their foot with our own foot. Mm-hmm. And so, I think black folks should do a better job of distinguishing themselves, setting themselves apart, because the truth is ninjas prey on black people. Oftentimes when somebody getting a car jacked, that's a ninja robbing a black person. You see what I'm saying? So, a lot of black people are victims of the ninjas, but the thing is, black people like ninja shit. We do. We like the vibe and the atmosphere of certain clubs, even though it's a little dangerous, but we like it. You get to a certain age, you grow out of it, but maybe it go from a regular club to a gentleman's club. It get a little hood at the gentleman's club, the best ones. It gets a little hood in there. You know what I'm saying? So we like some ninja-ish black folks. And so we congregate with the ninjas. We kick it around the ninjas. And you're right, the girls do like ninjas more than the black man, right? They're more exciting, or they give them the feeling of protection or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot to be corrected, a lot to be addressed. But I like the way that he's introducing this concept, this black pill thing. I think we're going to take this much further from here.
We're the only ones that try to cling to and promote the worst aspects of what's in our culture. And the craziest part is we oftentimes aren't even the ones that initially put them up. It's usually other groups that are monopolizing the money, the fame, the artists, and making money off of it at our own debauchery. So my view is that I don't care what type of music you listen to. That don't mean you got to try to live it.
Thank you.
Right? I don't care what type of artist you're really down with. That doesn't mean you got to emulate them in every way, shape, or form. You have mothers having their 4-year-old girls twerking in front of them online. You got women who have OnlyFans accounts with children that go to public school.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Classic.
You got to stop for a second because it's true and it hurt. The truth hurts. That hurts because that's really going on. And they think it's cute. Ouch.
My view is, as a community, we have to get to a point or place where we have to draw lines in the sand. And guess who really has to draw those lines? The women do. Because you accept it and won't shame it and won't turn away from it if it's your girlfriends that do it and live it like that. And then you run to the very men that are the worst in our community.
Hey, I be saying it. I've been saying it for a long time. And, you know, it gets weaponized against me as if I'm like biased or whatever. My loyalty is to the truth. But I'm trying to tell y'all, we all recognize that men are more solution based than women. And so if the majority of the honest as to why we are in a marriage and dating and relationship and broken household crisis as people, if the honest of it was on the men, it would have been fixed already because it's in our nature to be fixed.
Classic.
This one is on y'all. And whenever y'all ready, I think there's more than enough men that are waiting for you.
Classic.
But it's on y'all. Souls of Thought said, question. Talk to me, dog. Why black people separate themselves from the ones who truly impact the ultimate outcome? He has a mission, but the individuals he neglecting is the full mission. Yeah, I was going to kind of speak into that. And so I'm glad you asked the question, because just like I said, black people like ninja-ish. We like doing ninja things because at the end of the day, at heart, we ninjas. We just have some decorum. Make sure y'all check out my code language on decorum. But yeah, we have decorum. That's all. We know when and where. We know, we have discretion, right? We understand time and place, right? But most black folks, we ninjas. You get me around my folks at the barbecue, you put me back in the hood, in the trenches, I go visit, so-and-so them, and we at the barbecue, we at the cookout, and the trap music bumping, and, the guys over there in the circle, passing the yeah around, and, the chicks out here, they got the little shorts on, it's hot, summertime shy, you smell the barbecue smoke in the air. I mean, it's a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? People creeping by, folk, phone them over there playing basketball, it's a lot going on, but you still outside. It's mildly dangerous where you at. If you're in the wrong place, it's always the wrong time, but we ninjas at heart. We still a go. We still a pull up. You know what I mean? Like we like that. We just got some act right. We know I'm not gonna act a fool right here, right now. Whereas the ninjas, they don't care. They just gonna crash out all the way. The difference, I think real life example. Here go an example. In the airport, Shakiri, that was her that's some ninja shit. You in the airport, black person, understand. I'm mad, but I'm also in the airport. That's the difference. I'm mad. I want to turn up. I want to do exactly everything Sha'Carri doing. I want to bump you into this wall. I want to push you. That's how she feeling. But she understands I'm in the airport. Black people versus ninjas. You know what I'm saying? It's just decision making. I think the spectrum of emotions is the same. But those who can control that, those who can regulate themselves, those are the ones who, you know, ultimately win in the end. You can't just be moving around the earth.
Natural born crash dummy.
Can't be moving around the earth like that. Soft Rain said yes and no, depends on the person. If they're content with being single and no companionship, then so be it. I think there are more who wants a companion over being single. I agree, Soft Rain. I would say 99%. I would say 99%. I think 99% of women want to. This is just my theory. I don't have no way to prove it, back it up. I'll tell y'all when I'm just giving you a flat out opinion. This is just my opinion. Anybody could disagree. I know I could be right. I could be wrong. In the West, in this part of the world, I think 99% of women desire companionship. I think 1% out of all the women who be saying, I'm straight if I don't find nobody, I think 1% of them are telling the truth. I think 99% of them are lying when they say they cool getting old without a man or without a companion, because some of the women like women. But I'll leave a little space for the fact that everybody all doesn't really apply to much of anything. I'll leave space for that, but not much space. I ain't gonna hold you. Joe Jett in the building. What up, big dog? Chat 333. What up, boy? What you think about that, Soft Rain? Talk to me. Let's have that conversation. I ain't pushing back against you. I'm just saying I'm giving you my opinion. Give me yours. I want that woman POV on it. Souls of Thought said he won't make it. We say everything he just said and get all pushback. He just has a softer personality. Interesting. So you feel like if he was on a mixed panel, Souls, you feel like if Ask a Brother was on a mixed panel, you feel like he may have the same issues that we have in regards to getting through that firmament that the ladies got over their understanding. The ladies got a firmament over their understanding. Remember, I was the first person to say that. Cortez Branch said within the list of demands. What you mean? What you mean? What up, P? He said, I'm late, class. What I missed? Oh, man, you just missed a real good conversation. Classic. So shout out to P in the chat. Perry, we were talking about red pill versus black pill. And so we all just got abreast to the concept of the black pill man. And my dog from Ask a Brother podcast was saying that the red pill man, he said most men fall into two categories. We agreed that there's still three, right? The blue pill man still exists. There will always be a sheep or a simp ass person for every woman that want to change their life, regardless of their transgressions, right? So the simps still going to exist. So it's blue pill, red pill, which we understand is the enlightened, the conscious, the people with the magic goggles on. And then he also expressed that there's black pill man being the equivalent of like a third or fourth wave feminist woman. So the same rhetoric and the same disdain and the same use that the feminist woman thinks the man is for, the man has crossed over into the darkness of viewing women kind of similarly. Then he expressed that the black pill man versus the feminist woman, they're similar, but they present differently, saying that the feminist woman is more overt, right? More loud and passionate and vocal about their misandry, whereas the black pill man generally goes reclusive, or he resigns himself from participating. He'll just quietly reject the idea of dealing with the women. And so it's not overt, it's not loud hate. You know, he's saying so many of them are inside of a shell. So just giving you a synopsis of what we covered. And then our conversation from there is kind of bouncing off of what we discussed. Souls of Thought said most definitely. Most definitely to what? Oh, you think he had the same issues we have trying to get through? Yeah, I think so too. Cortez said they are, but it's good to have more people on the mission than not, though, for sure, Souls. We need a bunch of people on the mission, and we need all different textures and tones, because the way I give it up, it may be too much for some women, or too much for some brothers to handle. The way I articulate and the way I get passionate sometimes, or even just, you know, it may be too much. You know, the way souls like to, you know, meet people where they at, kind of, you know, get eye level with them in the conversation, so to speak. You know, that gets through a little better to some people, you know. And then his approach is even a bit more, you know, different. He kind of went around the block and gave that soft landing for people to digest what he was saying. I think we need everybody on the same mission, coming from different angles, and hopefully, you know, something will cut through. Cortez said they are single. A lot speak to their demands never being met. That's crazy, because like, how does the help meet come with so many demands in your position? And according to God, you know, according to spirituality and religion, your position was to come in and assist. So how does an assistant come in with so many demands? Let's talk. Uncle Plug TV, what up, big dog? 333, we here. We here. Indigo Flow, what's going on? Chat 333, it's getting thick in here. What's going on? Indigo Flow said, to my understanding, black pill takes morality out of the equation to a degree. To a degree. Indigo Flow, what up? What up? Uncle Plug said, okay, I know what y'all talking about. Yeah, I just wanted to give a little bit of a catch up for y'all. He said, good conversation, dog. Fire. Oh, for sure. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Uncle Plug said, helpmate always ask, how can I help? Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not even pushing back against Cortez either. Like, I'm just saying, like, that's crazy that he's right. Like, a lot of times when you see a woman who is chronically single in regards to like struggling in and out of relationships and just can't really seem to lock nothing in spite of many attempts, a lot of times they do spew the rhetoric about, you know, nobody meeting their criteria, their demands, their, you know, their needs, their wants, and all of that. And so, you know, you have to look at it like, why is it that if you're supposed to be helping the leader, being an assistant to the leader, a multiplier to the leader, why would you have so many demands? Not saying that you shouldn't have any standards or boundaries or demands, but why such a cumbersome, you know, task? Why is it such a cumbersome task to meet you where you at? Souls of Thought said they are single because they want their opinions to be louder than their reality. Cooking. Classic. Is heating up. Cortez said the Queen's panel always gives their voice, and that's what their voice says often. Don't attack the ladies, dog. We not doing that.
I'm only gonna do this once.
We not doing that. Don't do that, Cortez. I get you. I'm gonna integrate the panels, and we gonna be able to have it out. But we got to get the right ladies, because everybody don't have the same thickness of skin. We got to have people that's gonna hang in there and not be turned off altogether when the conversation is over. Joe Jett said demands can be made from having a market that meets those demands by being delusional, bluffing, egotistical, and falling back on hookups and situationships. Demands could be made from having a market that meets those demands by being delusional, bluffing, egotistical, and falling back on hookups and situationships. That was a mouthful, no puffy, but yeah, I feel you. Uncle Plug TV said, I co-signed that, so yeah, that was some heat. Cortez said, laughing my ass off. That was a promotion, my dog. It was. Soft Rain said, is it demands or expectations? Both of them. Both of them. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to take it a step further, Soft Rain. That's why leadership in the black household, from male leadership in the black household, is largely gone. It's over with. Yeah, because a lot of men in their household, they acquiesce or overly acquiesce, which is what the definition of simping is. They to a point where they've compromised themselves as the man and as the leader. They've compromised themselves. They've overly acquiesced to the demands and expectations of the woman, when indeed it is her job to be there as like the top level assistant coach. Classic. You know, and that's why the leadership is over with, because you know Whose boundaries matter more? Whose boundaries matter more? Let's say a man and a woman are compatible, but like we know everything, they may be compatible, but nothing is a perfect puzzle piece, right? And so they meet this crossroads. They meet this crossroads where the woman wants or expects something, but what her expectation is or what her want is beyond the realm of what that man is going to prioritize on a regular basis. Whose boundary takes precedence? In the average American household, whose boundary takes precedence over the other person? I'm trying to think of a real situation. Okay, let's say something like this dude is a masculine man. He handled the hard stuff, this, that, and the third, but he has a really trying schedule. And so as much as he'd like to, he can't service his woman's car. You know how some men be like, yeah, my woman don't have to pump gas. My woman don't have to take the car for oil changes. Like, I do all that. Congratulations to y'all. I ain't never just been out here taking a woman's car for her to the gas station to put gas in it as a everyday or every week regular basis type thing. That's never been a habit for me in any relationship I ever been in, nor do I plan to make it a habit. It sounds inefficient as hell.
Classic.
It's your car, you driving that motherfucker. As long as it's daytime, stop somewhere and get some gas. Why are you bringing the car home on whatever it's on, and then I take the car, go back out specifically just for the sake of pumping your gas into your car so I could say out loud, my woman don't pump gas, I pump the gas. Like, the way y'all jack y'all egos off is weird.
Classic.
If you don't take your ass to the gas station and pump that fucking gas, like, and that's why leadership in the household is over.
Classic.
It's a wrap. Curtains cooked. Cortez said, we love the Queen's panel, always gives. He said, we love the Queen's panel. Oh, for sure. I know, Cortez, man. I'm just messing with you, man. Soul said, here we go. Yeah. I know. Joe Jets, entitlement and extra. Soul said, here we go. Yeah. I can hear him too. I can see what face you made. Souls, Uncle Plug, what he do when one of us start getting on that? He do his rock and he get his little. Yeah. Joe Jet said entitlement and expectations ruin women, and the more trauma they experience, then they turn to demands instead of following traditional values. I agree. Entitlement and expectations ruin women, and the more trauma they experience, then they turn to demands instead of following traditional values. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think honestly, it's just a lot of failure residue. You know what I mean? Like they give their heart to one, maybe two, and then after that, they're guarded. And then they'll talk like they still open. And so they never open up for real again because they living through the facade of being open. You know what I'm saying? And men do it too. But the difference is it's harder in general for men to acquire women. You know what I'm saying? Whereas women, if they open themselves back up, they could fix their man problem any day.
Classic.
It's a fact. The market gonna open their arms right up to them. It's a matter of what they like in the market, but they're going to open right up to them. Uncle Plug said, I do truly believe that when a woman is in preparation to be the one, God will put her in position. If she's not ready to be ready, she'll conform or miss her blessing. Okay. I rock with your belief. We ain't going to argue your belief. Joe Jet said, if the man isn't up to par, then don't engage or leave him. Accept people as they are, but you have to vet them to know who they are. I take it a step farther, Joe, and say vet people so you can have an understanding of who they're going to become. Souls of Thought said their expectations are louder than their limitations. If everyone, but most definitely women look at where they are limited, they would just submit. If they would look at where they are limited, they would just submit. They don't feel limited. Whatever we could do, they said they could do.
Classic.
They not limited. Perry dying laughing. Yeah, man. Uncle Plug said, hell yeah. Uncle Plug said, I'm the CEO and she's the GM. Run my company properly. When there's anything out of the normal, consult the CEO. Come on, talk about it now.
Classic.
You hear me? Act accordingly. Talk to him, Plug. I appreciate y'all. We're going to move on from this, but shout out one more time to the Ask a Brother podcast. This triggered an amazing conversation that almost went for an hour. Y'all know we're going to let it flow if it's flowing. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Plug with the salute. Make sure y'all tap in with the Ask a Brother podcast, subscribe to his channel, and run it up for him. For sure. Chat 333, the best in the world. All right, so it gets crazier from here. So I hope y'all still able to comment, man, because we got to get into some talk for sure. So we're going to do the question of the day. I think this may not be as long. Question of the day. Should prenuptial agreements be mandatory? Let's talk to me, chat. Should prenuptial agreements be mandatory? Uncle Plug, you already know what it is. Should they be mandatory? I know a lot of people had the conversation with regards to should DNA testing or, paternity testing be mandatory at birth. I know a lot of people have had that conversation. I've always said that. I think I'm one of the first people. I'm the first person I ever heard introduce that concept publicly. The first person I heard with that concept was me. But I'm sure somebody else thought about it too. I just don't know them. But it came to the internet a little while ago where people were discussing it. And I think it just makes perfect sense. I mean, but should prenuptial agreements be mandatory? So Souls of Thought said, no, it's not the word. Okay. So he talking about the word. He talking about them scriptures. It's not the word. Cortez said they shouldn't need to exist. No, well, okay. I'm with you. You said they shouldn't need to exist. Let's talk, because whenever you use the word should, you're no longer talking about reality. So they shouldn't need to exist. But with all things considered in the reality that we live in today, would it be a fair adjustment for men to make prenuptial agreements mandatory? Would it be a fair adjustment? Uncle Plug laughing. Uh-oh. It's about to go up, Plug. I don't know. Soft Rain said no on the prenup. Joe Jet said, yeah, or it's going to die off. Well, it is dying out. Old world Europe used to have marriages as a year and a day contract. Come on, Joe. Help me out. Because y'all tweaking. Cortez said exactly. Now, who you saying exactly to, Cortez? Who you agreeing with? Because I, for one, believe prenup should be mandatory. I've always thought they should be mandatory. I look at a prenuptial agreement as nothing more than asset protection. I look at it like an insurance policy. I look at a prenuptial agreement the same way I view an insurance policy. And all over the United States of America, for the most part, driving your vehicle without car insurance is illegal. Car insurance is mandatory. I believe to be married, you should have some form of insurance in place. I'll go so far as to say I think there should be a basic version of a prenup that you guys are able to build off of with some parameters that are assigned by the government. Certain parameters that are already there. Like these are built in. Y'all build everything else around it. Absolutely. And I think the men benefit from it the most. You have to understand what we're in. And Norris, I'll wait for book, chapter, and verse on where the scripture, I know the scripture says that divorce is for the most part only permissible by God, you know what I mean, due to marital unfaithfulness. I understand that. I know that's in the book of Matthews. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? But where on earth in the book, and I'm not saying it don't. Again, it's a big book. Been a long time since I've been in it heavy, but I have read it multiple times for myself. But it's a big book. So I ain't gonna act like I got every book, chapter, and verse memorized. I ain't Eli. I ain't Denzel in the book of Eli. But show me where it speaks against a prenup in the Bible. Because let's say you have a prenuptial agreement and there's marital unfaithfulness. So religiously, God approves you to go ahead and get divorced if you so choose, because there's unfaithfulness. And you happen to have this contract in place to protect your shit. You know what I'm saying? When y'all split. I don't understand why any man would say no to prenups being mandatory when we're the ones who lose in family court the most. So I'm trying to gain understanding from the chat. I need y'all to really talk to me on this. Indigo Flow said prenups and paternity tests. That's what I'm saying. I'm with all that. Give us a little protection. Cortez said because they do exist, it's the land of contracts. They exist, but should they be mandatory? Meaning if you're going to get married, you have to have a prenuptial agreement in place. I know they exist. Sovereign said, should marriages be required to be renewed? Just like you have to get initial marriage license, should it expire or have a renewal date? Yes. If you're not going to make prenups mandatory, I like this as a second option. You know what? Your ass tweaking. When the expiration come up, I ain't renewing this shit. I'm cool. But then if you go over to that, if you cross over into that structure, Sovereign, does the decline to renew just how does the asset dissolution work? If you are going to be not renewing your marital contract, right? Then don't you still go into a divorce court type of situation? I still think we need prenups. And listen, people always say this. Most people ain't rich, so what you need a prenup for? I don't know if y'all ever been broke before. I've been everything. I've been everything. I've been broke. I've been in the middle. I've been super comfortable. You know, I'm talking about cloud. Now I've been everything. I don't know if y'all have experienced the full spectrum of like finances, because some people only know how to be broke. They only been broke. Some people only been middle class their whole life. They never been broke as hell. They never been up. You know what I'm saying? They kind of just been floating. So I don't know. I'm not going to assume nothing, but let me give y'all my POV. If you're middle class or less financially, you need a prenup more than a rich person. Hear me out. If I got 200 million and the judge tell me to give her 80, right? I still got 120 million. That's rich people problems, right? I'm still wealthy. Is it going to hurt to cut her to 80? Yeah. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not one of those guys that's talking about, oh, that's the mother of my kids. I'll give her half happily. Man, shut your goof ass up. I'm not giving nobody nobody that I don't plan on dealing with a certain way no more. I don't want to give you half of nothing happily. But back to my original point, a rich person splitting wealth into divided wealth, but still is wealthy, that's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. If you only got $20, if you on your last $20, shout out if you ever been on your last $20.
Classic.
If you on your last $20, you understand me? And somebody take 10, they just changed your week.
Classic.
If you only got $5 and somebody take $2.50, they just changed your whole setup.
Classic.
The way you can make $2.50 stretch and the way you can make $5 stretch when you broke then a fuck, totally that's a world of difference. Going from 200 million to 100 million, I'll take them problems.
Classic.
Going from $100 to $50, my whole I gotta reevaluate the whole calculation of how we was gonna get from here to there with this. She took half.
Classic.
Broke people need prenups more. When you broke, you need every penny. So no, you can't have half. You leaving, right? We got joint custody set up. You get them half the time. I get them half the time. Fuck, I'm sending you some money for. When I got them, I pay for shit. When you got them, you pay for shit. That's 50-50. Why am I sending you some bread? So no, I think make them mandatory. Let's argue. I think make them mandatory.
Classic.
Let's argue. Let's get it. Joe Jett said, marriage through the government is a contract. Marriage through the spirit is sex. Contract-wise, there's an imbalance within the contract that gives women a payday with the departure. Come on, Joe. Joe, you cooking with the grapeseed oil.
Classic.
You cooking with grapeseed oil. Organic. You hear me? Uncle Plug said the Bible doesn't recognize divorce. All for sure. It's in the book of Matthew. It's in a couple spots. It do. The Bible recognizes it. It say that divorce is not permissible by God unless there's a marital unfaithfulness. And then you still should really work through it. But they saying at that point though, it's okay. Like you're not gonna be punished for getting up out of that. It's in there. Souls probably got the scripture. I ain't gonna lie to you. Cortez said, with most religions, the prenup was related to her guaranteed virtue. See, now if you bring virtue into the conversation, then you know what I'm saying, then it's over with at 14, 15, 13 for some of these
Classic.
Shits. You know, some wait later, but hey, you know what I'm saying? I know what middle school was like for me. Let's see. Cortez said, if marriage is a contract, then it needs to be restructured. That's what a prenup is. I'm just saying. I don't know why men are on the different side when the divorce numbers show that the 80% is fouled by the woman. So they doing the leaving and you doing the losing. So I don't know why any men will be on the other side of the fence. They're doing the leaving and we're doing the losing, based on what the family court is showing. So if you protect yourself, boom, 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 boom. You see what I'm saying? Uncle Plug said, I give you half. I'm going half on that monkey for life. You hear me? I need access to something.
Classic.
Sending you all this coin. Crazy as hell. Soft Rain said, I've been on both ends. I totally understand. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pardon ways is pardon ways last time I checked. Is you stupid? I ain't, man, listen, please. And then they'll weaponize it. Well, I got the babies. No, you don't. Send them here. Well, you can't have these babies. Well, shit, you don't want to give them to me. What I owe you for? To keep them is to pay for them. Because look. If you give them to me, and I go to court to get child support from you, the whole world will look at me like I'm less than a man. Now, ain't that right? Right? So if I say, so if we parting ways, and you got the babies, and I say, well, give them to me then, because I ain't trying to send you no bread. So just give me my kids. And you say, no, you can't. I'm keeping the kids. Okay, well, yeah, you accepting responsibility. No, you need to send me something. Okay, so if I go fight for custody and I win, then I should put you on child support, right? But then everybody will look at me like less than a man, right? So with that being understood, the family court system is against us. So why would you say that prenups shouldn't be legal? That shit should be mandatory. As a man, mandatory. I bet you I won't get married without some type of arrangement, some understanding. I bet you I won't. You crazy? We'll have a spiritual wedding. I ain't signing shit without some contingency. Is you stupid? It ain't no what? Oh, what? And then they get on your ass. That's why I told y'all, leadership in the household, you niggas don't know how to stand y'all ground and hold the line no more. Leadership in the household gone. They weaponize they have a little conversation with you and weaponize your desires to protect your assets. Should shit go awry, they'll weaponize it against you. Well, why would you need that? What you don't trust me? Trust is an emotion. Trust is an emotion. This money, that ain't emotion. The crib, that ain't emotion. That ain't no emotion in the crib.
I'm only gonna do this once.
You see what I'm saying? It ain't that's not emotional. Ain't nobody talking about no feelings. We talking about finances. You know what I'm saying? Somebody get to tweaking, whether it's me or you. We got an arrangement on how we gonna split this up. We can make it fair, but I just want to understand what that looks like should that day ever come. Do we want it to come? No. You don't want to get in a car crash either, but you got insurance. And should you happen to get into an accident, be it your fault or not your fault, you are what? Covered. So you trying to talk me out of covering myself?
Classic.
That's how a lot of y'all got here. That's how a lot of y'all got here. Somebody talk somebody out of covering themselves.
Classic.
Yeah, I ain't said nothing wrong. I ain't said nothing wrong. Yeah, Joe Jet said down to the last 20 better sell. He said down to 20, it's time to donate plasma. Oh, hey, you got to do something? Joe Jet said, I trust you to follow my leadership. Sign the papers just in case. On God. On God. Hey, that's how you do it. I trust you to follow my leadership. And as a leader, I'm telling you, sign this here. Sign this here. Yeah. Now submit. What's going on?
Classic.
Joe, you won one today, Joe. You won one today. But yeah, I think we divided on this one, chat. We got some people that said prenups should not be mandatory. I think they should. Based on the numbers and the statistics, I think that men need some contingencies put in place to protect themselves better. It doesn't look like any big drastic movements are being made to restructure family court laws right now. So with that being said, I think it's best that we make some other adjustments or have some other discussions about some things that we may be able to implement to put ourselves in better situations when these relations don't go the way that we intended. Amen. So that's my consensus on the chat. But man, if y'all watch this on the rewatch, make sure y'all tap in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this one for sure. All right, y'all. Let's take it further. Why are common sense religion questions inflammatory? Got to pull up a clip for y'all. This shit about to get good. Y'all thought people was on the brink of crashing out before. It ain't gonna be me though. It ain't gonna be me, but we'll see how it go. This ain't Sunday service. Sunday service, I think we trying to keep it a little more, we trying to have some decorum. You know what I'm saying? So I had to bring the raw shit to the Classic Codes daytime show because I know chat 333, we're going to be able to handle it a little different. We're going to be able to handle it just a little different. So remember, keep in mind when I play this clip, this is the question. Why are common sense religion questions inflammatory? Let's go.
How the fuck is you gonna tell me about some shit you ain't never seen, bitch ass nigga? You can miss me with the whole ass shenanigans.
Wait.
No.
How do you know that people haven't seen it? That's my point.
Well, hold up. But we all can agree that everything has a beginning. So what's the beginning of God? Look at you cake ass niggas. I wish y'all could see these goofy looking niggas faces.
We're not saying that we understand it.
I'm not saying we don't understand it, but
we just acknowledging the fact that.
No, I'm just saying, what's the beginning of God?
Smack, he is the beginning.
Right. How do you know it's a he? How do you know it's just one? See, you're going based on what you was taught. What you was taught.
Yeah.
This is a learned fucking behavior. You can't tell me about some shit you was taught.
No, look.
You don't know, my nigga. Come on.
I'm talking about.
How the fuck is you gonna tell me about?
Chat, y'all can go ahead and get started. I'm gonna play this one more time. I like seeing people ask stupid questions, and I'm being sarcastic. But I love when somebody show up to the Bible study with some dumbass questions like these. I'm being sarcastic, but I'm about to enjoy this one more time, and then we gonna get into it. Y'all can go ahead and dump in the chat. Let's go.
How the fuck is you gonna tell me about some shit you ain't never seen, bitch ass nigga? You can miss me with the whole ass shenanigans.
Wait.
How
do you know that people haven't seen it?
Hey, he said you can miss me with the whole ass shenanigans, my nigga.
How do you know that people haven't seen it? That's my point.
Hold up. But ass shenanigans,
Wait.
How do you know that ass nigga? You can miss me with the whole ass shenanigans,
Wait.
How
do you know that people haven't seen it? That's my point.
Hold up. But we all can agree that everything has a beginning. So what's the beginning of God? Look at you cake ass niggas. I wish y'all could see these goofy looking niggas faces.
We're not saying that we understand it.
I'm not saying you don't understand it, but
we just acknowledging the fact that.
No, I'm just saying, what's the beginning of God?
Smack, he is the beginning.
Right. How do you know it's a he? How do you know it's just one? See, you're going based on what you was taught. What you was taught.
Yeah.
This is a learned fucking behavior. You can't tell me about some shit you was taught.
No, look.
You don't know, my nigga. Come
No,
on.
no, I'm talking about.
How
All right. Let me see what the chat doing. Let me see what the chat doing. All right, Joe Jet said, dogma, the cult is more important than critical thought. If you think critically, then it's tough to control you. Come on, Joe. Hey, Joe, what you Joe on that today? He ain't missed, dog.
Classic.
Joe Jet shooting like Curry, man. He's shooting like Curry today. He's on fire, man. All right, Uncle Plug says, smack water my dog. Hey, I need answers to his question. Hey, Uncle Plug. Joe just said the beginning of God. God created existence, and if there's an existence, then there's never a nothing, because you'll never get something from nothing. So something has always existed. Mm-hmm. Right.
Classic.
Hey, so since something has always existed, then there is no beginning, right? He said the beginning is just transformation. It sounds like you just described the lack of a beginning. Is there a term for that? Is there a term for no beginning at all? Some shit was just always been here. It ain't like it didn't start. It just nothing.
Classic.
But look, that question can only catch somebody up. I'm gonna be real with y'all, and that's why I'm more spiritual than you know, when I was once upon a time indoctrinated to being religious. I'm more spiritual now, because that question to jam somebody up that has been taught to look at God as a being. So his questions will jam you up if you look at God as a being. But if you understand God differently, and I'm not preaching to y'all, I'm just having the conversation. If you understand God as the existence, God is everything and all that is in existence that has life. So if you looked at God as a source instead of a being, then when somebody asks you what the beginning is, you say there's no beginning to the source. It's evolution of the source, life source, God source, creation. So that's kind of what Joe is getting at when he said the beginning is just transformation. You're talking about evolution of there's a source, it's frequency. This shit really boiled down to numerology, but I'm gonna walk y'all there slow. We'll probably get to that in 2027. But it's like there's math involved with this. Like, it's not just you can't, it's not as simple as I believe in this wholeheartedly because somebody I grew up trusting or somebody I grew to trust taught me this to be true. I did a little investigation for myself and I'm going to just rock out with what this is. You could do that. Ain't nobody going to stop you. I'm not saying you wrong. I'm just saying when people ask these questions and everybody have to freeze for a minute, it's for a reason. It's because you glitching. When he asked them dudes, we agree that everything has a beginning. And they said yes. And then he said, so what was the beginning of God? All of them start glitching. They glitched because it's beyond the realm of what they ever questioned. They was taught in the beginning there was God and God was, and God started talking and shit started popping up. They ain't never asked, who was God's father? You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's why I don't view, I've always had questions like this my whole life. I mean, even better ones, but some of these were solid. But I just think when you look at God as a being, it's almost like double-mindedness. Like people will believe that God is like a being and God is in all of us too at the same time. And then they'll try to refer to like the Trinity, right? Like the 3 is 1 and the 1 is 3 and all of that. And I see where people get confused at, because at the end of the day, like, you take your mind out of the books that we were told to read and indoctrinated with. And I'm using indoctrinated based on its actual definition, not as a condescending term. But you take your head out of those books and you just go out into nature and pay attention to the order of nature. You don't even got to go outside. Go on National Geographic. Look at nature take place. Just spend a few hours a day watching creatures of this inhabited planet be lawless in their natural form. And then you get a lot more understanding. Like a lot of things that humans in modern society, we've been removed from nature. Y'all barely put y'all bare feet on the ground. Y'all barely touch the actual earth. Everybody wearing soles, no pun intended, on their shoes. We're detached largely. And so conversations like this, as far as I need to take it with y'all, a lot of people, it'll go over their heads if we really start getting into it. But these questions are inflammatory to people because it challenges something that they've emotionally invested in so hard. And so it gets them on the defense, when really you shouldn't be defensive at all. If you get stuck like that, you yourself should want to find the answer to these questions. And sometimes the answer is outside of every single nuance that you taught to believe in. Not that the principles foundationally, like me personally, I'm me knowing myself, I'm a better Christian than a lot of Christians I know. But I'm not a Christian. But just the way I live my lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? I'm a better Christian than most Christians I know. You know what I'm saying? So, like, at the end of the day, being detached from the doctrines doesn't detach you from your connection to the source or to God, however y'all want to call it. You see what I'm saying? And so I think a lot of people get stuck when they meet open-minded people who have questions that are beyond what they can answer inside of the scope of the text. The word is the word. It's useful. It's dope. It's powerful. You know what I'm saying? I think we need it. We don't need, people aren't conscious enough. If most of society was red pill, we wouldn't need none of the books. We wouldn't need the Bible. We wouldn't need the Quran. We wouldn't need the Torah. We wouldn't need none of that. If most of society was red pill, you would just have the general understanding not to act a fool. But because most people are sheep, you do need a way to initiate order and some level of control. It's true. We don't think like that as individuals because we not the ones that have made it to the point where we're over this shit. We not the ones pulling the strings. So it's not our responsibility to think like that. But if you had to make the calls, if you was calling the shots over a couple billion motherfuckers across the continents because you're the money, because the money is what make the decisions in this world. So if you was in that position, you would think a little differently altogether. But I just wonder why common sense questions, like these are common sense questions. Basic common sense questions. Like when I showed the chat, when I did the episode and I showed the chat that 90% of the Old Testament was not in the slave Bible. The Bibles that they was reading and studying on them plantations, it didn't tell them about Moses. It didn't tell them about Noah. It ain't tell them about Samson. It ain't tell them about David. It ain't tell them about Abraham. They didn't tell them about them. You know how quick them slaves would have turned shit around? Do you understand how fast they would have turned shit around? Slavery would have been over with. It'd have been over with. It'd have been some let my people go shit. But when you ask common sense questions, like, damn, why they take all them out, but they left Jesus in there? And not only did they leave him in there, but they made him the most important nigga out the whole book. And he was the one that got the equivalency of a lynching and on the cross, while on the cross or on the tree, right? All alleged for content creation purposes and entertainment. On the cross, equivalent to hanging from the tree, said, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." And then you wonder why black folks are subdued. Because we taught to be overly gracious and overly merciful to a fault. But see, if I ask the common sense question amongst a bunch of people who are indoctrinated, before we can even get down to the fact that I'm right about what I just said, before we can get down to that, people are too offended to even remove the veil. Every day, I'm not here to make y'all comfortable. I'm not. I don't got no beef with certain things. I don't have a beef with Jesus. I got a beef with my brothers and sisters. For sure. For sure. The things we all should have, especially men, we all should have some crash out in us. It's a part of the job of being a protector. Part of you need to have some soldier in you, some warrior in you, some hunter in you. So we all should have some crash out in us that we're keeping at bay. But the shit we choose to crash out for, it's never the right cause. Every leader that corral us and bring us together on some kumbaya shit, the CIA, the DEA, the FBI, all the alphabet people, allegedly all for content creation purposes and entertainment, them people will let them live the longest. The kumbaya niggas. When Martin Luther King started changing his message, his life expectancy got shortened up. See what I'm saying? When you want some stand on that, when you talking like Moses, when there's an or else at the end of your demands, they're shortening up your life expectancy, but they can't shorten up the life expectancy of millions. Let everybody get on the same page. Let 82% of us get on the same page. Let 73% of us get on the same page. So the inflammation that people feel when these good ass questions come about, those are moments where you could go in either direction at the fork in the road. You can choose to be stubborn, closed-minded, myopic, keep the firmament over your consciousness. Don't break through. Just keep a firmament around your consciousness. Or you could choose to open your eyes and ask these questions yourself and be like, damn, I need to do some searching. I need to do some research. I need to do some digging. I need to do some growing, some expanding. And this the crazy part. People be so scared of learning that every single thing they currently believe in may not all the way line up like they think. They so scared to find that out that they scared to grow. If you scared to win, if you scared to lose, you scared to win. And that's in multiple ways. It's just like if you scared to shed dead weight. You got a homie from the sandbox that's bad for you. But because y'all known each other from the sandbox, you keep him around. Now he hindered your growth. You scared to lose, so you scared to win. You see what I'm saying? So I think people, before getting offended or being inflamed or getting upset or being agitated or getting defensive, I think people got to be open to just having conversation and gaining some understanding of where a person is, how they got there, how, you know what I mean? What journey did you go on and start thinking like that? Did you always think like that? That's the type of shit I'm on. You know, whether I agree with you or not, that's secondary. I never heard nobody talk like this before. I need greater perspective. Give me more.
I know you see me trying to crack the code.
So, yeah, that's all, chat. I know I done went on a little bit of a rant, but yeah, Joe Jet said nature is law. The natives live naturally. Absolutely. And you don't need a book to find God. That's the crazy part. The book told you about God. God didn't tell you about the book. Just think about that. The book told you about God. God didn't tell you about the book. That's some more common sense. That's inflammatory. If didn't nobody introduce you to none of these books, none of these doctrines, would y'all still have found God? Would y'all still have a connection? Would y'all still hear his voice? Would y'all still be talking about God told me? Or would y'all just be lost in the world, oblivious, just not having any understanding or sense of purpose or understanding of free will, understanding of nothing? Would you think that y'all? I believe my connection with God was gonna come regardless. I could have been illiterate, never read a book, nobody ever read one to me, and I was gonna be connected to God. So this shit get deep, man. This shit get deeper. This shit deeper than the ocean, deeper than a pit. Souls of Thought said a lot of people defend their own morality, so they are offended by any new news.
Classic.
You talking. So yeah, I think a lot of people, you know, I'm gonna end it with this and move into the code language, but I think a lot more people need to do a better job of understanding what they don't understand and being cool with that. Make peace with it. You ain't supposed to understand everything. That's that entitlement. That's that human arrogance, man. We think we supposed to have all the answers. You ain't gonna have all the answers. There's some shit you just don't know. And most of everything is outside your control. It's very little that's in all of our control as individuals. Now we band together, the scope of things in our control gets bigger and bigger. But there's still a whole bunch of stuff that is outside of our control as humans. Most of the shit ain't in our control. And they harvest our energy. It's vampirism. They harvest our energy by keeping people in a state of fear or in a state of anger or in a state of anxiety. They keep you vibrating at a frequency where they can tell you exactly what's true, what's false, what to believe in, what reality is, what it isn't. They keep you right there at that low ass vibration. Right there. They be fear mongering like a motherfucker. Try being fearless for a couple days. See how free you feel. I'm not scared of nothing. I see comments every day under the post on my algorithm because I see a lot of, you know, I'll be going down the rabbit hole. So I see a lot of stuff about, you know, the Anunnakis is coming back, the alien mothership on the way. The aliens been here. I see all this stuff. And every time you go through the comments, it's some religious folks in there talking about, I plead the blood of Jesus on us all and oh my Lord and this, that, and the third. And all of their rhetoric come from a place of like nervousness, anxiety, fear. It's never like bold and like, well, I ain't tripping. I don't see the comments that be like, I ain't tripping if the aliens is coming or whatever it is, because the day that I go, I know where I'm headed. That's one thing I can give my granddaddy credit for. His faith was strong as hell because I don't know nobody that was looking forward to dying more than my granddaddy on my daddy's side. His favorite song was I'll Make It My Home Someday. He was looking forward to getting up out of here. I know where I'm going. I know where life is after this. I'm looking forward to it. Take me now. In a healthy way. He wasn't thinking about doing it himself. But y'all get what I'm saying? He wasn't tripping because his faith was that strong. He felt like he understood what his fate was going to be. And so because of that, he had the ultimate peace in passing on. Most of the people I know that operate inside of religion, they scared. They be talking about Jesus coming back like they scared. I'm like, ain't y'all team Jesus? Yeah, but when he come, ain't you on his side? Why would you be scared that he coming and you with him? Because I'm not afraid. Come on. How many thousands of years you been coming back, folks? Slide, folks. Slide, folks. The Anunnaki stop threatening. Slide, folks. Just slide. This shit ain't okay. So a mothership coming. Worrying about it gonna slow the ship down? They coming, folks. If they 10 feet tall and they got laser guns and these little 9mm and these two, and you get what I ain't gonna get a whole ammunition away, but you get what I'm saying? If this shit don't penetrate, then you know they won. But we ain't gonna make it easy on them. But slide, folks. If that's what it is, that's what it is. People be living in fear. People, you can't even enjoy your life. Scared of some shit. And it all be propaganda. Can't even really appreciate nature because you don't even know what you're looking at. I see all these posts on TikTok, mods talking about, oh, it's water spewing out the waterfalls, but where on earth is the water coming from? I don't get it. This waterfall isn't connected to a lake. It's not connected to an ocean. It's a tree. It's not a water. It's a waterfall. Yes. Now today it's a waterfall. It used to be a big ass giant Jack and the Beanstalk, David and Goliath ass tree. Clear as day. And trees spout. That's a big, oversized, prehistoric tree spouting water profusely and recycling it over and over again. But you can't even see it for what it is because your frequency. He said that's a big ass tree. I ain't gonna lie to you. This the shit y'all say when y'all can actually put y'all eyes on something and you don't have to have faith. The shit y'all don't gotta have faith in, y'all don't even believe in. That's how you know they got you. Shit, when you kind of look at it, now that he say that, it do look like a big ass tree stump. I ain't gonna hold you. It actually lifts flat across the top and shit like somebody sliced it. Man, if giants used to exist, he might have a, I ain't gonna lie to you. It kind of do look, that's what it is. It ain't what it look like, it's what it is. The shit you don't need no faith in, y'all niggas will question. The shit you should question, you got faith in. And so we will be under control forever. And as long as people asking good ass questions make people mad before it make them want to seek further knowledge, we gonna stay in the cycle. We running on a rat wheel. We treadmilling. We done did 10 miles in one spot. Ain't changed GPS location, none. 10 miles in one spot. Treadmilling. Just trucking along. That's what it is. That's what it is. I get so frustrated trying to get into an intellectual conversation that's gonna make both parties or all parties involved greater. And we can't have it because of somebody motherfucking feelings. We can't have a discussion because somebody feelings hurt. Soft ass niggas.
Classic.
Joe Jett said this world is temporary, is meant to pass away. Everything degrades in this universe. That's why they want to find themselves God particle. I agree. I think that, I mean, if you pay attention to what's going on in nature, humans are literally stage 4 cancer to the planet. That's just what it is. And then there's so much more to the planet that they don't even tell us about. So we don't even know the planet even bigger than what, you see what I'm saying? So this like a little small area. So if you look at the planet, just follow me for a second. Be conscious for a second. Let's just say the planet is significantly bigger than the map they show us. If y'all know anything about the historical maps that actually show the continents beyond the ice wall, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know about those maps, it's cool. Just follow me in the fucking la la land real quick. But let's say the planet is significantly, let's say 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 times larger than they've led us to believe. All the advanced beings or advanced in comparison to us that live beyond in the areas that we don't have access to and that most of us are not in the know about, right? We would look at the larger planet. We would look at that as the whole body. So the little bullshit we doing in our little corridor that we call the whole earth, which ain't actually the whole earth. What we're doing here is like just a tumor in the hip or some shit, or the tumor in the back of some shit. Like, and so the so-called aliens that's coming from outside the firmament, which ain't nobody been outside the fucking firmament, that's in your Bible. But the aliens that's finna come from the other part of Earth that they told you didn't exist, they just coming over. They not coming in to Earth. They just coming over. When they come over, it's gonna be to fix the tumor. Don't you get it? They coming to fix the tumor. Call it what you want. Call it Jesus. Call it Nibiru. Call it Anunnakis. Call it whatever you call it. The Lyrans. Call it. Get as spaced out as you want with this shit. Do it matter? Everybody want to be right. Do it matter? All you got is today anyway. You hope for tomorrow. Yesterday over. We do a lot of tweaking. We do a lot of tweaking. Joe Jett said, I saw the maps. So you know what I'm talking about. This ain't nothing but a little piece of the whole part. So it's obvious, right? It's obvious that the powers that be, the people that make the curriculums at the school systems, the government, the people who made the government, the laws, we've caught them. Not even caught them. They've admitted that they've been lying to us many times. And then there's lies that we caught them in. As the public, we've caught the government lying, and they've admitted that they've been lying many times. These people have a track record of lying. But y'all pick and choose what y'all want to believe from the liars, allegedly all for content creation purposes and entertainment. Y'all pick and choose. They lied to us about everything. Pick something. Everything. Math too. They didn't even teach us nuance in math. They didn't teach us nuance. Numerically, 1 + 1 is 2. As humans and in creation, biologically, 1 + 1 is 3, 4, 5, 6, because we multiply. Adding is equivalent to multiplication when you think about it in the terms of life. But in math, 1 + 1 is 2. Give us the nuances. Expand our palette. Don't be the kid in class like me who will raise his hand and be like, shit, one male adult plus one female, shit, they can have babies. 1 + 1 might equal 15 when it's all said and done. No, put your hand down, classic. That's not. They shut your fucking lights right off. Your creativity, your flow, your freedom of thought, challenging, critical thinking, they shut your fucking lights right off. Think like this, believe like this. Everything we tell you is true until we let you know that it ain't, and then believe the new truth that we give you until you die around this bitch. And you so comfortable in the illusion that don't nobody want to wake up. Small percentage of us. Half of us controlling the world, the other half of us running around frustrated trying to save the niggas that don't know no better. You gotta choose who you want to be. You gotta choose who you want to be. It's like that. But that's it on, that's it on my my TikTok reaction on why are common sense religion questions so inflammatory to people. One time for the road, though, I gotta hear my dog one more time because the way he served it up, I can't even beat it. This is somebody who really don't care what nobody think, and I love that energy. Let's go.
Fuck is you gonna tell me about some shit you ain't never seen, bitch ass nigga? You can miss me with the whole ass shenanigans, man.
Wait. How do you know that people haven't seen it? That's my point.
Well, hold up. But we all can agree that everything has a beginning. So what's the beginning of God? Look at you cake ass niggas. I wish y'all could see these goofy looking niggas faces.
We're not saying that we understand it.
I'm not saying we don't understand it, but
we just acknowledging the fact that.
No, I'm just saying, what's the beginning of God?
Smack, he is the beginning.
Right. How do you know it's a he? How do you know it's just one? See, you're going based on what you was taught. What you was taught.
Yeah.
This is a learned fucking behavior. You can't tell me about some shit you was taught.
No, look.
You don't know, my nigga. Come on.
I'm talking about
how the fuck is you going?
He said, come on, man. Hey, already, man. That's it on the TikTok reaction. All right, y'all. We moving into the code language conversation. The code language today is going to be on the term subdued. All right. So we're going to talk about the term subdued. The term subdued, it means quiet and rather reflective or depressed. Definition number 2, soft and restrained. So the first definition of subdued is an adjective of a person or their manner, quiet and rather reflective or depressed. Number 2, of color or lighting, soft and restrained. So when we think about it by the book definition, right? Subdued, quiet and rather reflective or depressed. After all the rhetoric all the rhetoric in this whole diatribe that I just went on, I think it's fair to say that the state of the Western American that doesn't live in some form of relative financial freedom is subdued. Relatively reflective, depressed, I'd say so. I mean, after all, most people are taught to wake up every day thinking about the stuff they don't have. Need for more, hustle, rush, work until you can get off work to try to get to your next rest or your next reprieve. Right? Think about it. I would say most of the West, I would say most Americans are subdued. And then even with the second definition of being soft and restrained, even though it's supposed to refer to color or lighting. I'd refer us to that too. Soft, restrained. You know, Massa got a good enough chunk of us, you know, still sleeping comfortably, voluntarily in the slave quarters. I'd say largely as human beings, we've been subdued. We got, and this in my own family, this in my own space, my own network. We got folks that are devout religious folks, or so they say, devout religious folks that I know for a fact vote against their God. That gotta have you fucked up. Y'all don't want to talk about it, but I know how to say it. Y'all don't want to talk about it, but I know how to say it. You got folks that's devout religious folks. You believe in Jesus all day long, up and down. You pray 10 times a day. You in a constant conversation with the Lord. Hallelujah. Amen. But you voted Democrat, didn't you? You voted for them folks to be able to keep putting them vacuum cleaners on them babies, and you voted for these boys to keep marrying boys, and you voted for them to go adopt little boys too. And for them to go adopt little girls too. You voted for that. And you know your Lord, your Savior ain't with that. You know it, and you voted for that. But you know what made more sense to you? Even though you was voting against God, you was voting for the Social Security. You was voting for the government assistance. So that made it okay. And then when somebody show up to the family barbecue, or show up to the Thanksgiving, or show up to the Christmas function, and get to call the niggas to the carpet. You see what I'm saying? Then y'all want to try to expand the conversation. No, we don't want to expand the conversation. Let's stay right here. Let's stay right here. I don't want to move. Well, no, you got to look at it like I don't got to look at nothing. You told me you believed in this. This what you said. You was the one in there on Sunday clicking your heels and putting on your finest and spraying your colognes and your perfumes and hugging Sister Jenkins. You was the one doing it, but you voted against God. That's a fact. Didn't you though? Huh? And it's most of us. Y'all seen the numbers? Y'all seen the numbers? Black folks, we the most hallelujah. We'll hit you with a towel, the whole church fall out. Huh? That piano player get on that organ the right way, and we'll get in there. Hey, we get to doing all that. When it's time to go to the polls, though, Robert can marry Ricky as long as y'all keep the Section 8 valves flowing. Huh? Niggas don't want to have no real conversation. I told you, I ain't pulling up every day to make y'all comfortable. Let's get it. I ain't pulling up every day to make y'all comfortable. They sacrificing the babies, but call it reproductive rights. Come on now. I ain't pull up every day to make y'all comfortable.
Classic.
I told you on Classic Codes when this shit started, we was going to have necessary conversations. And all of those ain't going to feel good. Y'all don't think this shit hurt me too? Huh? But we got to do it.
I know you see me trying to crack the code.
We have been largely subdued. Was at my people crib the other day. My OG Tess, she said I used to always wonder why the women that worked inside the plantation house that cooked the food always wonder why they didn't poison the food. I said, and then I pulled up the scriptures, all in the New Testament. It's ones in the Old Testament too, but I pulled up multiple scriptures all throughout the New Testament where it says in the Bible to obey your master the same way that you would with respect and with reverence, the same way that you love God. Multiple locations in the New Testament I pulled up to her where it's telling the slaves to be a good, obedient slave, just as you would obey God. And I said the reason why they didn't poison that food is because they thought they were serving the Lord. But then you would tell me that we ain't conditioned into submission? And y'all don't see no perpetuation from that. You still think the foot on your neck. I'd have to disagree. So as the thought said, no, Classic, they fighting for the less fortunate. LOL. Perry said you cooking. I'm just saying, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get through the firmament. We got a firmament around our consciousness. I'm just trying to cut through.
Classic.
These people, they got y'all so crazy. It's so crazy. Like, and I be disappointed because it be my people I be talking to. I be like, oh, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. They be to had a conversation with somebody else about you. I done had it happen in the workplace. Get to having a conversation get a little deep. I don't be scared to have conversations in the workplace. I know how to talk. So the conversation get a little deep. You may say you spiritual, you not religious. Niggas talk. Somebody else come back to you like, yeah, I heard you don't believe in God. Why? Because I said I don't believe in what you believe in. So you automatically put me with the atheist. That's how myopic. That's going to be the next code language. That's how myopic people's thinking is. So, because I don't believe just like you, I'm a whole atheist out here. That's what's happening.
Classic.
Crazy. And that's Christian arrogance. Christians the most arrogant. Muslims don't think only Muslims going to heaven. They don't think that. But Christians, they think they the only ones. If you don't acknowledge Jesus the way we acknowledge Jesus, folk, you can't get in, folk. They swear that every Christian swear he the bouncer at the club,
Classic.
Though. I ain't never heard none of my Muslim homies tell nobody else who was and wasn't getting into the kingdom. I ain't never heard a Muslim tell somebody else that they not gonna get to heaven. Only Christians say that shit. Ooh, you do that, God gonna strike you down. Oh, you know you ain't gonna inherit the kingdom. Doing, man, you niggas, you don't speak on behalf of God, folk. You don't know what my setup is. White liberals, new masters. Come on, souls. Come on, souls. Look, they ain't expected to go this way.
Classic.
They thought we was only here for entertainment. Nah. Y'all didn't know I was in that mode. We've been subdued, people. And until you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, this shit ain't gonna change. It ain't gonna change. Even me knowing it ain't gonna change. I'm just trying to find my community. That's all. I just need my tribe. I know I can't touch the world. The psychological recipe that they put on us, that shit work like a charm. I gotta give Willie Lynch, George Washington, all the slave owners that put the shit in place and implemented the strategy so that it will work on itself. They told y'all last, man. They said make the dark hate the light, make the women hate the men, separate the children from the fathers, and we'll never need chains again. Don't y'all know they wrote this shit down and followed the manual? Man, they did a bang-up job on you niggas, man.
Classic.
They did a bang-up job. I ain't gonna lie to you, but we ain't gonna beat the horse, man. That's the code language for the day on Subdued. Yup. So we got time, man. Let's go ahead and get into some chat Q&A. I know y'all probably got something for me at this point. I done went crazy on here, huh? Chat Q&A. Let's get to it, man. Let's get right to it. I know my people need to talk to me. Holla at me, man. Let's do it.
Fighting out of the southpaw stance. Standing at 6'2", 190 pounds. I give you, boy, I'm made different. I work too hard. Ain't no way I ain't getting paid different. This from the dirt, this from the mud. You ain't slave with me. This was strictly for my homies that was brave with me. You can't come in with me now if you ain't came with me. Skull looking at you side eye if you ain't with real life. I seen a couple people try and it ain't in print.
Oh yeah, I'll be performing at Vic Theater in Chicago next month.
I only keep the people around that stood on 10 with me. And if they start to stand on 9, that's where it end with me. It can end quickly. In the way I level up, I make them spin differently. I should start a foundation. They be make a wish in me. I got these
talk to me, chat. 333, what up?
Seem to get to me, babe. I done mastered discipline. It take more than booty cheeks. Need a little more conversation, cause I still be trying to see. I be listening with my eyes. Yeah, I still be trying to see. I be moving like the prize. You can't find another me. Let's get focused. Want the fruits of your labor, gotta climb the tree. Yeah, I'm out planting seeds, cause I got a lot to leave. I be putting in long miles, I ain't gotta stop to breathe. I be putting in long hours, I ain't gotta stop to sleep. Yeah, I'll put in that time, put in work, I'm a
I got you, Soul.
You ain't slave with me. This was strictly for my homies that was brave with me. You can't come in with me now if you ain't came with me. Skull looking at you side eye if you ain't with me. I seen a couple people cry.
It ain't even pretty. Woo! What we doing, chat? He said, "Come on, chat. They'll be having no Q&A, man. They'll be having no Q&A. I done gave them a whole plate. They don't want no dessert. The plate was too full. They don't want no dessert. They don't want no dessert." He said, "Come on, chat. It's all good, man. Everybody dump them threes in there for me though before we part ways today, man. We did the make sure if y'all missed the Classic Code Sports stream earlier this morning, make sure you slide over to Classic Code Sports and tap the subscribe button before you do anything else. And check out the sports stream. We talked about boxing today. We talked about the WNBA playoffs coming up, and we talked about both Sanders brothers at length. So I think it was a great sports conversation for sure. Shout out to Chat 333 for being up early this morning on an unannounced live and just jumping in with me. Shout out to Soft Rain in the chat. Shout out to Joe Jet in the chat. You know what I'm saying? It's Chat 333, the best on all streaming platforms. You know it is.
Classic.
But yeah, man, I think that's my time for the day, man. I think I did, you know what I mean? I just streamed it up. What we working on? Damn near 3.5 hours worth of streaming content today. So you know what I mean? And we got some premieres coming out this evening for y'all. So y'all will have some more content to get y'all through the evening. Ooh, we got a question. Uh-oh. Is courtship dead? Ooh.
Classic.
Is courtship dead? Shit. Coming in late, but swinging for the fences. I'm trying to think about it. I ain't think about it. Is courtship dead? Yeah. Largely, I would have to say courtship is dead. I'd have to say it's dead. Because we went from like genuine courtshiping to either a man leading with money or a woman finessing, right? So you either got the guy that's leading with I'm spending, I'm paying, I got it, woo, or you got the female that's coming in with the intentions to like get something out of dude. But do I feel like that's all? Nah. And I don't even think it's like the vast majority. I think that's more so on some like 60-40, 70-30 type shit. I think for the most part, courtship is kind of dead. But I think if you got two people that's both in their intentional bag, like they both in their intentional phase, I definitely feel like they'll probably have some level of courtship going on between them. Because it's weddings happening every weekend. People getting married. So courtship is happening. You know what I'm saying? Like it's taking place for sure. So I can't say it's just like extinct. But just like anything else, like the proof is always in the results, right? Like earth is evidential, like I always say. And so when we look at the results, it's definitely, you know, if people are attempting that courtship, they failing at it horribly. But I would say people aren't really courting. They kind of just moving how they moving. I think courtship was something that was always like extremely intentional. You feel me? Always extremely intentional. And I think now more so than ever, people like fucking with the situation vibes. Like they'll move from a situation to a situation. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's one of them things, man. It's tricky, but I can't say it's dead, but it's definitely experiencing courtship ain't dead, but it's definitely experiencing shortness of breath. Souls of Thought said, who's sowing into your plantation, chat? Woo! Who's sowing into your plantation, chat? Souls, hey, Souls, you got me with that one. Who's sowing into your plantation, chat? What you mean by that, Souls? You got me with that one. Joe Jet said, nah, but it's been done wrong. He said courtship ain't dead, but it's being done wrong. That's kind of where I'm at with it, Joe. I ain't gonna lie, we on the same frequency today, Joe. It ain't dead, but shit, it's suffering. Souls of Thought said, you have to recognize the king to be courted. Ooh! Come on, Souls. That boy swinging, ain't he? No jab, no nothing. Hook, uppercut. Folks said 3, 4, 5. Shit. He says you have to recognize the king to be courted. Now that shit might be dead. They'll say king and queen, but do they recognize it?
Classic.
Ooh. Hey, souls, hold that, souls. Say that for Sunday, or say that for no middle. I gotta catch up with you middle of the week, souls. I gotta get with you on Thursday or something about this now. Hold on to this one. Write this one down, souls. You have to recognize the king to be courted. Ooh, shit, boy. Hey, man, you lucky it's the end of the stream. He said you can't submit MSN. Can't court you. Oh, if you can't submit, a man can't court you.
Classic.
Joe Jet dying laughing. Hey, he on that. He said, I got you. Yeah. We got to come back to that. Don't let that slip away. Yeah. We got to, because that deserves time. It deserves attention. I know what you meant. You said you can't submit, then a man can't court you. I got you. Thank you for the correction. But that this conversation deserves time and attention, and it deserves one or more women's touch. I believe the women should speak on this, because the whole setup is courtship dead. If you can't recognize the king, then you can't be courted. The nuances of all of that, I need it. I need a panel. I need parts.
Classic.
I need it. I'm excited already. He said, tell me when I lie. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know. We don't agree every day. We can't. But you said a word. Dog. I ain't going to lie to you.
I'm only going to do this once.
Hey. Look. I ain't even finna get in all that. We just got to come back to that one. I need that. I need a panel. Get with me Thursday, Friday. We got to do something. We got to do something with that. We got to put together. Maybe we can get Kia. Maybe she said she want to talk politics when she come back with me. We can get April. Maybe we could get Alyssa. Maybe I can reach out to a couple. Maybe I can get Ray. We got to do something. I need a couple women's voices on it, but we got to do something with that. That's heavy. Leave it up to chat 333. She said, yep, we could do a panel on it. Yeah. Because I need some greater understanding too, in regards to, because there's a lot of this rhetoric that go around with the sisterhood, where they saying, when they see certain things, that's what allowed them to bask and flow in their femininity. And so I think a greater understanding or a clear picture with some realistic examples, some tangible examples of what they need to see, or how they need to gain this security or this safety that they got to acquire before they can flow in their femininity. I think I need to gain some clear understanding and vision on what that looked like in a real scenario. Because they say it, but I don't really know what that looked like. They be like, yeah, I can't be all the way feminine until I feel safe. And it's like, okay, well, I got guns, I got hands, you know what I'm saying? Like, how safe you trying to be? No, like emotionally safe. Well, like what you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta have this conversation, man.
Classic.
We gotta have this conversation. He said, be ready. Oh, no, already. He said, they queens that you have to raise from princess era. Oh, hey, souls, save it, souls. Save it, folks. Save it. Save all that. Because he going too crazy right now. Chill.
All right now.
Chill.
All right now.
Come on, now listen. Keep it. He said they are queens that you have to raise from the princess. We're not going to do that. We done got all the way to the end of the show. I feel like I've been very balanced in today's show in regards to the things that we discussing. Kept it kind of off of the ladies, and somehow in the chat Q&A, we just spin the block and end up getting on their ass. There's always somebody in chat 333 that's going to pull up and just...
Natural born crash dummy. and he go crash out. He go crash out.
But you know what? It makes for amazing content. It makes for great conversation. And so I am not tripping. But we definitely coming back to that at some point in the nearest of future. Put that on the docket with the demarcation conversation about permission. Because I know y'all disagreed with me when I did my solo shit on it. But I'll come back to a panel with it so y'all could tell me, you know what I'm saying, where I missed the marker at. Said lady opened it up. I just walked in. Hey, yo.
Classic.
Soft Rain said 333. For sure. All right, y'all. But look, check it out. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We dead on the 2-hour mark. We gonna call it one. Y'all know I appreciate y'all. If y'all don't do nothing else, for me, stick to the codes. We got another classic.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Hardened my heart.